Good morning, dear participants. Welcome to the webinar session today. I would request our Secretary of the Association, Mr. T. Sedupati, to welcome the participants and the panelists. Over to Sedupati, sir.
Good morning. I'm very happy to welcome you all for today's 7th webinar day. And today our speaker is Dr. Vijila Kennedy, Principal Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science, Coimbatore. I welcome you, madam, very heartily. I also welcome all the participants and secretaries and management members for today's webinar. Thank you. May I request Dr. Vijila Kennedy to proceed with their speech.
Good morning, Vijila madam. Once again, welcome to our session. Today we are having two sessions participants. One is by Dr. Vijila Kennedy. She is the principal of Kumaraguru Liberal Arts and Science College at Coimbatore. She is a well-known management teacher. She has got around 30 decades plus experience in the educational field, and she has served as in various institutions in the capacity as a professor, head of the department, and then the principal. After Vijila ma'am's session, we would be having Dr. C. Shailendra Babu, IPS, Director General of Police, Railways, and Director, Fire and Rescue Services, who would be addressing all our participants. Welcome to everyone. Over to Vijila madam.
Thank you, sir. So good morning and welcome. My thanks to ASFASM and PwC for this wonderful session. And we have been having a week of fantastic sessions. I'm sure many of the participants would have enjoyed these learning sessions. And I really hope all are safe. And in these very, very difficult, unprecedented times, I really hope the education sector is pandemic closing off. Everybody wants to go. Travel restrictions are there, lesser spending, parents wants to spend less, or institutions are under fund crunch, decreased employment. So in this particular kind of a situation, why are we talking about internationalization? Does it really make sense? Is there any other possibilities? Is the question that we want to discuss, because I think it's very important for us to look beyond what is now and look at a broader perspective. So I would put it, why not now? For a few reasons. Many of us would have seen Bardiyar University's Vision 2030, which is given by the Chancellor, which one vertical of Vision 2030 is on internationalization. And right now, we have plenty of time to strategize, as we have taken sort of a pause. And there are many, many new emerging opportunities. Finally, can internationalization be a unique positioning for our institution or even for our region? Can we become a Silicon Valley of a center of international education? Can we become an international academic city as such? I think in internationalization, it is partnerships and working together makes a lot of difference. So this is the reason why I wanted to do this, because many times we are stuck in today's reality. It is very true, and it is really impending on us. But a broader strategic vision is absolutely essential. And we always use this downtime. In organizations, they always use the downtime for looking and thinking much beyond what is happening now. So with this, this is the reason why I wanted to do this particular session. And what is the scope of the session? What are the drivers? What really makes us, or should we move into internationalization? And what are the different opportunities that are available? And ultimately, as a practitioner, what should we do? Because there may be many models, many ideas, but what is it that we should do? As we proceed, if you have any questions, please do post it so that we can have a discussion. I do not have all the answers. I may not have all the answers, but I think it's very important for us to put forth the questions and have a discussion on your thoughts. So this is the broad scope of today, but I would also say a disclaimer. There is no single model which fits all. Each one of our institutions are different, locations are different. And so this is not a solution giving session, but this is an idea generating session, a session which gives the different possibilities. And it is for us as individual institutions to pick up, choose what we want to do, how we want to do it, based on our vision, based on the opportunities which are available to us. And second disclaimer which I want to make is also international education is dramatically changing. It is really flipping. It's flipping and it is changing. Leave alone the general education, which we keep talking about, but globally, the global leaders in education, whether it's the US, Europe, Australia, things are dramatically changing there. So what we talk here is a broad view of what can be done, how it can be done, and this keeps changing. So we just need to keep our ears and eyes open to see what are the different opportunities. So with that, let's talk about what is this internationalization of education. We use this term very loosely in different terms. We use globalization. We say globalization of education. There is the European Parliament study has given a definition which has a what and a why and for a whom and why and what is the purpose of doing. So it is internationalization is integration of different global dimensions into what? For a purpose, functions on delivery of education. And why should we do it? In order to enhance the quality of education and research. And for whom? It's for all students and staff. It's not just for students. Many times we think internationalization, globalization is for students, but it is equally relevant for faculty also. And ultimately, why? To make a meaningful society. I think all our educational institutions which we function are ultimately we want to make that kind of an impact. I think the larger vision we should never fail to have in mind, because that is the purpose of our education. So this is the perspective. So integrating global dimensions is what we need to do across different verticals. Now, how do we do this? Because many times we think that when we talk about globalization, internationalization, we think that there are only certain reasons or certain causes or certain outcomes of this, but it is much more broader. So what drives these internationalization of higher education? As you see, there's a lot of globalization going on. Business is going global. Technology, social media, air travel, market interests are changing. English is a common language. And there is a lot of integration of different systems like Bologna process, international associations, different accreditations, etc. I just want to pause here and say that I know some of these things may not be true today, but we really don't know how it is going to change tomorrow. It can actually turn out and give a lot of opportunities in a different way. Maybe 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, what we talk about internationalization today may not be true, but it can make a huge difference. And these are the factors which have been driving this internationalization in today's context. But in tomorrow's context, I think we are talking about global competencies. What are the competencies that the students want? What are the competencies that the faculty should have? And how do we actually get there is a question that we need to ask. And this is what we normally think. We normally think if we are talking about globalization, internationalization, it is the student mobility. And student mobility has been skyrocketing across the globe. This is taken from our OECD, and they've given up to 2015, 2012, and they have given a 2025. And they've said this is what will happen. We really don't know how this will emerge, but it might emerge in a very different way So mobility today may not be a physical mobility. There may be a lot of virtual mobility. But I've put this graph to say, normally, this is the myths that we have. We believe internationalization means, but there is a very, very large canvas. And I'm sure wherever we are sitting, whatever kind of institution that we are in, we will be able to do something in that very large canvas. So it's a choice of what we want to do, how we want to do it, based on our own vision, based on our opportunities, based on what we have as strengths. So let me put forth that large canvas to you. So this is the large canvas that we have. We have at different levels. Level 1 is what we call as internationalization at home. Level 2 is a broader surface level, a larger kind of internationalization. Level 3 is much more deeper with few institutions to get much more outcomes, much more impact. Level 4 is very strategic, a very large grand plan at our institutional level. So these are the 4 levels. I know there are a lot of small bits which are stacked together. Would like to sort of destack each of these levels and say what are the things that is possible for us as individual institution, or I would even say as a region. I keep saying as a region because I don't think internationalization may be very successful with individual institutions. Maybe we should join hands. Maybe there should be a consortium where we put our heads and hands together and say, give out what is best to the students, to the faculty, to the regions, so that although already we are an educational hub, so let's make it international is the proposition that is here. So let's go with each level. So let's look at the level 1, which is very, very taught by institutions, by teachers, or by principals like me. Level 1 is when we say you don't have to go anywhere, but with today's connectivity and today's kind of network that we have, there is a lot of international education that can happen in our campus. We start with internationalization of curriculum. How do we weave international perspective into our curriculum? We are very fortunate that we are under Bharatiyar University, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor is looking at revamping our curriculum. And I'm sure that he will bring in that international perspective if you are a non-autonomous institution. But if it is an autonomous institution, there is absolutely no stopping for you to bring in that international flavor. What is happening best around the world? What are the latest topics that are being taught? Let's benchmark against some of the best institutions. It could be courses, it could be topics, it could be delivery, it could be pedagogy, it could be anything. Though I put just curriculum there, it could be best of many things. And we say, I am modeling or I am adapting. I'm not using the word adopt, which is plug and play. I'm using the word adapt. So what is good in one particular university, we might have to slightly take it, tweak it, and use it in our institution. So that is internationalization, both in knowledge and competence. Today, we are entering into a competence-based economy or competence-based education. I think we are moving beyond. Yesterday, I was listening to a professor from Harvard Business Publishing House, and he was talking about an Indian professor. He was talking about how we need to move towards competence. Knowledge is gone, but competence is important. So that's something for each one of us who can do. Even for affiliated colleges, non-autonomous colleges, why don't we give some value-added courses, value-added certificate courses? Now, plenty of online certificates are opened. Earlier, online courses were not taken by our students, but today that's a fancy. Today, I think face-to-face has become sort of traditional or old-fashioned. So if it is possible, we should be able to even do that. So that is internationalization of curriculum. Second is virtual learning. As I was saying, we can encourage our students to register with many international platforms for doing courses. So it could be as webinars, it could be MOOCs, It could be many online courses. I would encourage the institutions to explore different, both national and international, because as an institution, if you register, you might get some kind of a scholarship for the students, or leave it open to the students. I know that many of us will be thinking, will all students be able to do this? I think it is important to give the basic foundation to every student. But beyond that, are we able to give something which the more hungry students, if they are there, if they want to do something more, can we give a virtual learning? Can we give an international global outlook inside the campus? Do we have events? We can bring fantastic international speakers into your classroom now virtually, and teaching foreign languages. So give that flavor so that there is a larger outlook. Hosting international professors, again, either physical or virtual. Hosting physical, till now there are plenty of professors who travel down. So we need to network with people, and if they are there in the city, if they're there in the state, we can always invite them. And finally, recruiting full-time faculty with global exposure and experience. So there are a lot of people who are returning back to the country for various reasons. So be on the lookout for them, because definitely they'll bring out best practices. So for many of these things, we don't have to, there's no huge investment, and it can be done in whichever place we are, and bring that small bit of internationalization, what we can bring in our own college, in our own departments, and in our region. So that's level 1. Level 2 is something something many of us, maybe institutions, are doing, are short-term international engagements. So if these are short-term courses, credit transfers, small projects, volunteering, summer schools, etc. Now, so far, all these short-term things have been done physically, whether it's participation in international events or short-term faculty mobility, or even research and publication with your connects. All these have been done physically, but now all these are possible virtually. There are a lot of organizations, especially for faculty mobility or even for students mobility, there are funding agencies. Everything is extremely competitive. It is not easy. You need to apply and compete with thousands of people, but it will take you somewhere. So be on the lookout for such kind of things. For faculty, short-term mobility, now it is open. Fulbright Scholar in Residence, Fulbright Visiting Scholar, Senior Administrative Program, UGC has Spark. So let's look at some of those things, and of course postdoctoral degrees. I've given some of the links there, which gives some funding for the short-term mobility. I think we should look at these kinds of things, but again, this will go through a dramatic change. I think virtually we should be able to do it. Virtually, we should be able to do a course with a partner university. So that's how we should look at. That's level 2 at a short level. We can do it with multiple universities if we have contacts. Third level is a much more deeper engagement. So it could be with few universities, it could be with 5-6 universities, but they are deeper. You have a understanding with that particular university for collaborative programs. Again, I want to emphasize here, our Honorable Vice Chancellor has been talking about this in his Vision 2030, how we need to get into collaborative programs. They've already initiated with the University of Melbourne, and he has talked about it in different conversations. And how many of us as institutions will be willing to join? We'll be asking the Vice Chancellor, saying, let's do it as a university and as affiliated colleges. I think we should knock on the doors when opportunities are open. When collaborative programs happen, then lots of the bottom 4 things happen. It could be student exchange, faculty exchange with those specific universities. Again, let me tell you, in future, it could be 50-50. Say, for example, if I had to take a course with University of Melbourne, maybe now I might go as per the present condition or the past condition, I may spend a month there. But now they may say, okay, come and spend maybe a week there, but the rest of the classes you take virtually. I think those are the opportunities which are emerging, which is very cost effective and which reaches out to the students. So these are the deeper engagement, I just want to add one more slide on it to say what can be the different possibilities, because this can be done by the affiliated colleges through Bharathiar University and autonomous colleges also through Bharathiar University, because our Vice Chancellor is very open to new initiatives. There are different kinds of global programs. Again, a disclaimer I want to give here. These terms are very, very interchangeably used. There is no, it varies from university to university. But broadly, I'm just talking about the models. So don't get very caught up with the terminology, but the models. Coast-to-coast transfer, a student studies a course maybe online somewhere and from some other university, or physically visits if that's possible, brings back the credit, we plug it into our own curriculum. Coast-to-coast credit transfer. Study abroad is usually for a semester. This one semester, the student studies in some other partner university and he brings back the credit. Twinning model, we call that as a 2+2, 2+1. Some of us might have heard about this, where he finishes 2 years here, 1 year he goes to a foreign university, partner university, finish a particular degree and gets a degree there. And again, now all this might become cost effective because that 1 year we can partner with that particular university. They can be the knowledge partner. We can support the student in actually in some of the delivery of the classes. And it can become a fantastic hybrid model of doing many of these things. Joint degree, I think that's something which our Vice Chancellor is trying to do with some of the programs of the University of Melbourne, because curriculum is jointly designed by 2 universities and the 2 universities together will give a degree. It could be a BBA where curriculum is designed together and 2 universities would give the degree. And we are very happy that some initiatives are being taken in that. The third model is a double major degree where maybe a visual communication student will do a BSc animation somewhere. They get 2 degrees. Double major. Dual degree is where 2 very different degrees are given. It could be a stack up level from UG to PG, or even in undergraduate level, the final year they move on to something else and they get a master's degree. So these are very large models which are available. I'm sure if you explore, you will get different things. But again, my appeal to many of us is Bharathiar University has opened the opportunity. Honorable Vice Chancellor is giving us the opportunity. So let us explore, talk to the university about if your university, if your institution is interested, we should do that. And I want to put this particular slide because again, many apprehensions saying in today's context, will students be interested in international education? Now, this is done by QS. Many of us might know the QS ranking. And this was done on April 29th, 2020. How has the coronavirus affected your study abroad plan or any kind of an international program? You see that there is a increase in number. 65% said they will defer. But you see on the right hand side, there's a very small number who's decided to say, I will not do it at all. So it is, you can very clearly see it's a temporary phase, but the model will change. We should be open, we should be flexible to accept these kind of changes and have a large strategic plan as to how we should be able to merge these things with our existing system. So this was done across the globe. It is not Indian, it is across the globe. So Indian perspective may be slightly different, but I think it will go well with the same with the Indian student community also. So from there, we'll move on to level 4, which is a very grand plan. Can we do international establishment of centers, labs, joining with universities or industry? If you are a very well-established university, well-established institution, we should look at some of these opportunities. Because many times, again, internationalization, we always think about university to university. There are many associations which are there, which might help us with many things. There are many industries which might look at certain things. Of course, these are very large plans. These are very strategic. But I just want to put forth, we can dream of those things. If we want this to be an international academic city, I think these are some of the directions that we should take. And Can we become the international hub for our neighborhood countries? Can Coimbatore be a city which will attract those kind of institutions? And today, new education policy, they can shift from institution to institution to get credits. Maybe a bunch of 30 students will come from different countries, and in each of our colleges, in some of our colleges, they'll go shift and get certain courses, get credits, and then get a degree. Imagine the experience that they will have, for which we need to join hands together to form that kind of a hub. And finally, campus abroad is something which we can always think at a very large level of how we should do what we should do. Again, campus abroad may not be a physical one. We may have offices, we may have virtual offices to deliver certain courses and have certain courses of contact classes. So these are the different 4 levels which I want to talk about, the broad aspects of how we can do. But ultimately coming, okay, fine, these are very large pictures, very large directions. What should I do? What should I do as a faculty? What should I do as a head of the department? What should I do as a principal? What should I do as a member of the board of an institution? I think in today's context, important to have a very global vision, looking beyond what is present. I know that today many of us are trapped in many difficulties, and but I would only say a marathon runner always looks at what he wants to achieve in the end. I'm sure he feels like sitting down and having some water. I'm sure he feels like sitting down and taking a small break. But I think ultimately we may have certain things to resolve. We should do it. I'm never underplaying that. But somewhere at the back of the mind, do we have that larger vision? Find opportunities and build a strategy and execute. Find inside campus, if there is a very passionate, if you have a passionate vision, let's find global engagement champions. There may be professors, assistant professors, or professors who are very passionate about bringing these things. Can we have some champions who will continuously work and say, okay, this particular university is open, or this person is coming, or this webinar is happening, or this online courses are open? Because only if opportunities are presented to us, we'll be able to offer it to the students. And networking is absolutely essential with universities, embassies, and international bodies are available, which I will share it in the next slide. And find great partners. Many of us may be already having great partners, but it might have gone under the desk. We might be thinking, how is it relevant today? Because my students can't go there. But this is the greatest opportunity to dust it up, because they are very eager to look at what they can do beyond with their financial crunch. And as I repeatedly keep saying, Bardiyar University gives a lot of opportunities. So I think we should knock it and get it and continuously seek opportunities. And I would say create small wins. Maybe we should have a plan saying, okay, I will bring at least 5 international speakers virtually to talk to my students this year. I will bring 1 or 2 courses which are very high end, which the students can take in as an elective. I will bring in maybe ask the students to do some online courses if the network is good. So look at those kinds of small wins. And my last appeal is, definitely, if we join hands together, we can become a international academic city. Coimbatore being known for that, beyond the education, taking us a little larger to the next level is what I would say. These are the different networking memberships which are available. Every country, bilateral associations are there, global associations are there. When we go and register, you'll know what's happening around the world. So that's what the champion should be doing, to find out opportunities, bringing it onto the table so that we can search and get those opportunities. I think I would just like to close with this slide saying, now, why are we doing all this when we are so constrained with many things? Again, I'm putting a very large picture there. I would like to look at the wheel that is there, the competencies, which has attitude, knowledge, values, and skills. And around which the first level is a core foundation, is the knowledge which we talk about. Today, so far, all our institutions have been doing the core foundation very, very strongly. And today, maybe we are losing out there. We might have to shift in some other space because knowledge is freely available. Students can read it. They will be able to, maybe they are better updated. But we are looking at the transformative competencies, global competencies, creating new value, problem solving, creative thinking, or taking responsibility, which they will always be able to succeed. I just want to share that if you take any CEO, they might have been one vertical specialist at some point of time. But today, if you look at them, they are a CEO not because of that particular subject knowledge, because of their broader understanding and that breadth of their experience and that exposure. And that's what we need to give to the students, because today one industry will do well, tomorrow another industry will do well. We will never be prepared. And all of us are facing that. Today, IT might be doing well, and we start a program and we think that it will go well, but suddenly we realize it's not going well. So our aspiration should be, how do we actually skill them for a broader market? How do we make them successful in the society with a broader thing, even though there may be a depth of a particular subject? So with that, let me close. This is Maya is an American poet, a singer, an artist. It says, if you are going down a road and don't like what is in front of you, which all of us agree, we don't like what is in front of us. Look behind and what you don't like, then get off the road. Create a new path. Find out what is new and let's create that. Thank you very much. And looking forward to conversations and questions and answers.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your eye-opening session on internalization of education. We have got a few questions for you, ma'am. Can I throw the questions to you? Madam, can you hear me?
No, yes, I'm able to hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, we have just got few questions. Can I throw it to you? The first question is from Professor P. Rajendran, Dean, Management Studies, KG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Is COVID-19 has made the globe look back India and education hub like Silicon Valley? If so, is India prepared enough by infrastructure and technology to transform herself to play predominant role in attracting the students across the globe? This is the question, madam.
I think technology is something which we have repeatedly talked. I'm sure in every session this question has come, and all of us know where our gaps are. And we realize what our gaps are. We need to upscale what our gaps, where our gaps should be. So today, institutions should be invest more in infrastructure. Should we invest more in the infrastructure of physical infrastructure, virtual infrastructure? Nationally, should we invest more in the virtual infrastructure, which the MHRD is doing? I think there is a pathway towards it. There is a direction towards it, and we need to take deliberate steps towards that particular direction. When I say Silicon Valley, I literally meant, can we be that incubation center? We as different educational institutions be that incubation center for internationalization. It is not taking students, it is not bringing students, sending students, but can we build certain models where maybe international universities look at us and say, hey, that's a fantastic small town city which has emerged. Maybe like a smart city kind of a model. Can we look at something like that where we can join hands together? Different opportunities are there, as I said, in different 5 levels.
The next question is, ma'am, from Dr. R. Shanti, Associate Professor in Management, Kamadhenu Arts and Science College, Satyamangala. We are interested in collaborating with foreign universities, but it is challenging for us. Can you suggest few universities across the globe which we can collaborate either for short-term, cost-effective courses, resource sharing, and research?
I think relating to research, I will always say the competency of the two researchers from the institutions will only happen. Because even when they come and talk to us about collaborations, any person who comes and has a conversation says that we'll talk about academic collaboration, research, I'll connect you with a particular university. So my suggestion to participants who are here, if you're very strong in research, that's essential because the research quality is important. I would really encourage you to go read articles written by professors from different universities. Find out who's the professor who's working in your particular area. Share your research work, what you have done with them. Connect with that particular professor. Because the research collaboration is, unless it's a large funded one, either by very global institution, global organizations, where the top university comes in for document preparation, collaboration is always with one-on-one. So my suggestion is find out international authors who write great articles in your domain area. Google, find out which university, write to them about your research interest. I'm sure some opportunities will open. That is how we do it. I'll just tell you examples where some certain articles are written by 10 professors across the globe. So everybody does one small bit. I think we should look at it, but there are many global funding agencies also. You should look at some of the global funding agencies like Fulbright, UK, British Council has it, Australia has it, our own UGC has it. We should look at those funding agencies.
The next question is from Dr. Vasudevan, Vice Principal, VLB Janagimal College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. What are all the innovations are required in teaching, learning, and evaluation when we focus our structured curriculum towards global education?
I wouldn't know whether you're autonomous or...
it's an autonomous college.
It's an autonomous college. Autonomous. I'm from an affiliate college. I know what boundaries are, so that's why I asked. But as an autonomous college, I would say fantastic opportunities are there. Again, I think globally best practices are available everywhere. My real suggestion to many of us, including me, I'm also talking for myself. Let's go find out what is happening in different universities. Because there's a ocean out there. Many times we are getting trapped into what we do. Second thing, find out what is the best practice, adapt it, don't adopt. Plug and play will not work in many of these cases. Let's look at something which is best. Okay, I will tweak it like this way. I will make these changes, and I will bring it into my institution. I think that's how we should do it. Plenty of opportunities available, tech-based, non-tech-based. It can be in curriculum, it could be in teaching, it could be in evaluation, it could be in processes, it could be in student experiences.
Thank you.
So I think we should keep it open, yeah.
The next question is from Sri Raman Nandi, Assistant Professor at DJ Academy for Managerial Science. In your opinion, why many students don't look for employment in our country after completing a course in foreign countries?
Well, I will not be able to talk for the students who go outside. It could be for different reasons. And it's highly individualized, highly personalized. I know some students who come back. I know some students who go study there, stay back, work for some time, and then always come back, or in the later period of their year. I think that's a individual's one choice. Secondly, also slowly, if India is emerging as a very stronger economy and a great workplace, I'm sure today there is a lot of returnees who are coming back. That's why I said let's look for faculty who have worked abroad who would come back. So there's always that kind of a mobility, and it's good when they go back, gain experience, and they come back because they bring that better exposure with them when they come back.
The next question is, good morning, madam. I'm Swami, Assistant Professor, Kungunad Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. Can you explain the difference between double degree and dual degree, madam?
Very, very quickly, you can read more about it. Double degree is in related fields, and dual degree is in two different fields. So it could be a lot of common courses may be there. Like for example, maybe social work, psychology, they may do a lot of common courses, but they also get into two different specialized courses. So it might take one more year to do, but they get 2 degrees because they make use of the common credits which they share.
Thank you, madam. Then next question is Dr. S. Premalata, Principal, Sri Rama College of Arts and Science. Her question is, in this contemporary world, how this internationalization of education affects countries like India?
I will say positively it affects us. We should be happy that we, as I was saying, there's a lot of possibility of we learning, because I don't think in a country where there's a population like India, we should never be worried that it is affecting. I will say it is positively contributing.
Thank you, madam. Next question is from Dr. S.K. Kavita, Coordinator, Office of Academic Collaborations, Bellada College for Women. Will physical exchange programs at international level become obsolete in post-COVID period? May not even be needed. Please give your opinion.
I will, first let me start with a disclaimer. I'm not very sure how it will emerge, but I will only say that it will definitely not completely disappear. But there will be, as I kept saying in every slide, new model will emerge. Physical visit definitely gives that experience, but with today's technology of AI, we might, even without traveling there, we might be able to experience a campus. Today, many people go there for campus, country experience, plus academics. So these are the two aspects why.
Yeah, thank you. Next question is from Dr. G. Muthuswamy, Principal, AV College, Tirupur. Madam, can two universities jointly issue a degree to a student? If yes, means, is this kind of practice existing now?
Sorry, what was the question, sir?
Yeah, can two universities jointly issue a degree to a student? So, if yes, is this kind of practice existing now?
This is what is exactly Bardiyar University, our Honorable Vice Chancellor is working on. They have signed an MOU with University of Melbourne. They are working on it. We really hope that this will work in our university. Across the globe, there are many universities which are doing. In India, there are many universities which are doing. We being in Bardiyar University, we really hope that this will open opportunities for us, because university is working on this model.
Thank you, madam. Next question is from Dr. John Manoharan, HOD of BCom in SNMV CAS. My question is pursued with global programs. Bardiyar University being in tie-up with Melbourne University, is there any programs for faculties to equip first to mentor the students to do courses in foreign universities?
I am sure Bardiyar University will take this kind of a role, because continuously they are the top management team is saying that they will mentor us, they will support us. Once these kinds of initiatives are open, definitely this will do. Again, my appeal would be that many of us will write and express our interest to the Vice Chancellor, saying that we would want to do it or we want to do it. I'm sure the ball will start rolling.
Next question is from Dr. S. Jayapriya, Assistant Professor and Head Nehru Arts and Science College. How can we bring curriculum internalization for globalization? Are our students competent enough? How can it be overcome?
I will definitely say with today's, what is internationalization of curriculum? We always think it is very alien. Today, if students are seeing Netflix, Today, if they are seeing Hollywood films, that's a kind of a global exposure that they have. So bringing in or giving that kind of a latest developments of what is happening today, we need to present it in a way that students will be able to take it, because tomorrow that is what is the world going to be. And I'm sure that if we are able to do that, they will be able to absorb it. Internationalization is finding out, again I repeat, please visit the universities. If your department is good at something, find out which is the best department, what are the courses that they're doing, what parts or what topics are there which I want to inculcate with our students or teach our students. And definitely faculty has to be engaged here. The driver is the faculty. So that is why faculty will have to enroll themselves for very high level MOOC courses, high level online courses, so that we are equipped, so that we are not in the back when students are going forward.
Thank you, madam. Next question is from Dr. AGV Narayanan DJAM. He says that it is a very exhaustive presentation. Thanks, madam. Why don't we initiate creating a consortium in Coimbatore with all like-minded educational leaders in Coimbatore and make collaborative efforts in making Coimbatore an international educational hub?
Absolutely, AGV. Thank you for the question. I'm sure that many of us have those kinds of thoughts, ideas. I'm sure that we should do it. I'm sure PwC and ASFASM can lead this kind of a thing, form a small group which can work together on this.
Thank you, ma'am. Secretary sir,
Yeah.
we will be shortly moving to the second session. We have got more questions, ma'am. We will post it by email to you. You can answer the questions. The second session is going to start.
Yes.
So I would thank Dr. Vijila Kennedy, ma'am, for taking such a enlightening session. Thank you, ma'am, and please stay on for the next session.